Okay, good morning, everybody. It's what is today? March 25th. It's about 7:15 a.m. Pacific time. Getting kind of a late start this morning. It's Monday. Um, I haven't been feeling the greatest personally. Still not feeling great today, but I took Friday off, and of course, Friday was incredibly active. A lot of price action. Um, all the major indices took a massive dump, and from what I could see, just not literal price action, but on looking at reviewing charts and whatnot, it was a lot of range, probably a lot of activity, kind of like what today is shaping up to be. Looks like so it's a kind of a bummer I missed out on it after all the very slow uh, anti or sans volatility we've had lately. But it looks to be picking up today, so maybe we'll make up for it. So just a quick review of what's going on. What you're looking at, if you're not familiar with this, is price ladders or order book, or some people call it the depth of market. Basically have bids and offers. And these are market orders in the middle. From left to right here, you have the Ultra Bond. You have the 30-year bond. You have the 5-year, which is the ZB symbol. This is the, right here is the 10-year, the ZN. That's typically what I trade. It's a 10-year Treasury T-Note. And then all the way over here on the right is the ES, which is the E-mini S&P. It's probably the most, aside from the T-Note, it's the most liquid of products in the futures products. And I like to put these side by side because typically they have a negative correlation to each other, meaning when the E-mini is going down, the T-Note 10-year Treasury is typically going up. Typically, that's not always the case, but that's what we'd like to see. So if you'd like to see more information on this actual platform, this is called the Jigsaw platform to daytradr. I'll put a link up here for you to click on and have some more information. If you'd like to learn a little bit more, I typically don't go into the methodologies. I just show you how it's applied. So if you want to look at methodologies of how to trade using an order book, you're going to want to go to a gentleman called John Grady. He runs a company called No BS Day Trading. I'll also put a link up here in the upper right, and you should be able to find out a lot more about what he does just by going to his website or looking at his YouTube channel. Okay, so let's look at the overnight price action. Let's see. So we had all of Sunday that traded a little bit higher. We're just going to look at the 10-year now. Traded up in this region, and then it fell in and traded down here, kind of developed a base, and then as soon as, let's see, basically as soon as the pit opened, we were in this area and it just kind of shot higher all the way up to 050, which is kind of in the upper range, and then since real-time trading hours, it's been shooting up and going up ever since. So it looks like we're starting to develop a little bit of a shelf right here and some absorption. Like sellers are absorbing buying. That's a big print right there, but we'll kind of get into that after we get done with our review. Looking at the calendar, there's not much there. Just going to do a little bit more in-depth review than what I remember from last night. So yeah, you have nothing there. A couple of Fed speakers, but that happened early this morning. You have a 3-month bill auction and a 6-month bill auction at 8:30. I don't anticipate them impacting what we're doing here too much. So next thing to check out, obviously, is the context is pretty wild. It's going to be more of a momentum trade at this point until things calm down. But that's sort of what we're looking at. Probably some good opportunities, more than just one opportunity, I would imagine, today. Areas of interest obviously are overnight high. If we get pulled back to that, we look for a continuation higher. We also want to see instances of, again, these absorption areas where you start to build one of these high volume nodes and you see one side, preferably if you're going higher, you want to see buyers, or excuse me, sellers absorb buyers to a large extent like they're doing right here. And that is actionable in my opinion. Preferably you want to see it across all products. So we're kind of seeing that here in the 30-year, getting a little bit of a shelf here in the ultra bond. 5 years already at the highs. So yeah, it looks like we might have some action right off the bat here. I'm just going through and cleaning up the platform, cleaning up out of some of the older orders. Just click that button there. Level everything out. And here we go. So one of my favorite setups is in watching the Treasury and bond markets and having them push in the highs, having the E-mini just dive into the lows. And whenever the E-mini is selling off or going down, I like to look for a short in these products over here. And that's sort of counterintuitive, but in the 10-year, see how these are already selling down, even though this is taking a shit. You want to see this hold, right? So you even want to see the E-mini push the lows, create new lows, and that not to happen here in the 10-year. They're already attacking down. One lot. So bond and treasury traders aren't buying this sell-off in the E-minis yet. Not just yet. Because as the E-mini's selling down, they're selling off too a little bit. Not selling off, but they're pushing the lows. They're pushing back. That changed pretty rapidly. We need pushback here at 10 even. Looks like they're trying to take this a lot lower. Trying to take the E-mini a lot lower. Again, we're keying in on this, all this absorption that happened. Sellers just sucked up all that buying that happened at this level. We need that to hold up. We're in at a 3 lot now. Could try to build it all the way up to another 2 or 4 lot. So Ultra Bond's still ticking up. Come on, I need this thing to attack. Good. Need this thing to pull off. Need this guy to beef up a little bit. Need this guy to pull off. Only 700 thus far. 800. It's not pulling off yet. There we go. Perfect. See how that just melted off? About 3,000 right there. 3,000 just came off that bid. And only 300 hit down into it. Mm. Five-year's still down here, hasn't pushed up yet. 30-year the same. 30-year just town ticked again. Went offer at 26. Only about 1,000 in the queue for the first lot off. Or first contract off, I should say. So the E-mini is just keeping the pressure on these guys, holding the lid down. As long as the E-mini doesn't hit the lows again, should be able to keep the pressure down. Keep the selling pressure on these guys over here. Still only still 1,000 in the queue over here. E-mini's getting up to the VWAP. This is a little green line right here. It's typically where it would be sold back down. So we got one fill. So we're down to a 2 lot. Still hasn't quite pulled off enough yet. Only 1,300 with 100 hit down into it. I like this offer here, 2,500. That's got to stay. There we go. Pulled off. You see that? 2,600 just pulled off. Nothing hit down into it yet. Pulled my stop loss up. I'm trying to lock in these contracts. I got one contract at 09.5 and then another one at 10 even. So I get one, I actually get one tick on one contract and break even on the other. Okay, so we're just down to the one contract now. If I have my normal 4 lot, I would just take this one off here. I'd cover this and leave one on just in case this completely fell in back to the point of control. But I think this is the overnight high is a natural support area, so that's why I left that one on there. So that trade's complete. We will again, just to review, some pretty obvious seller absorption of buying at this level. 10 even. Paid up 1 tick on a 2 lot and able to get filled on 1 more. For some reason I didn't have my settings set up yet, but should have had a complete 4 lot there, but that's fine. Then we just staggered our targets moving down to the overnight high. I think that's going to be a natural support area. We'll see what happens from there. But as of right now, that's I'm not sure the way the E-mini got bought up really quickly like that I would consider a long at this point. Just because I don't think it's going to be some catastrophic day like everybody was predicting. So we'll see. If we get back up here to 10 half or 10 even and we start seeing some more absorption, then maybe we'll take another short. But as of right now, that's trade number 1 and video number 1 for the day. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Feel free, please, to like this video and subscribe if you want to watch these videos every day. And let me know if you want to see something that I'm not showing, or if, again, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments.